Welcome to the Conversation Colons podcast. I'm your host, Damien, my co host, Jared.
Hello.
Jared, why don't you take us into the brewskis of the week?
Excellent idea. I actually didn't even open it. That's how fucking unprepared I was for this one. I've got another red, white, and berry Smirnoff Ice limited edition. Let's go. I know I keep showing it every week like I don't show you, but yeah, that's what I got. What do you got?
Coke and water.
Yummy.
Yup.
Freaking
Alrighty,
Wawa.
so some big stuff today pertaining to video games. Last week was pretty, I think, slow, wasn't it? I mean, I know we had an hour podcast, but like we didn't really talk about like games much.
No,
Um,
last week was a lot of us bullshitting.
right. So, the first one, the one that I'm most excited about is, so for a while, I think we talked about on the podcast a few months ago that there was rumors of a new Dead Space game coming out. Well, they announced it today. Dead Space is a full-blown remake from the ground up. It is next gen only, and it's running on Frostbite engine, which is Battlefield's engine. Always has been Battlefield's engine. Um, and they showed like a minute of like in-game stuff, in-game rendered footage. So it looks pretty cool. It probably will come out next year or the year after. But Jared, did you ever play any of the Dead Spaces?
No. A mutual friend of ours tried to get me to play it, and I watched him play it at like a slumber party when we were like in middle school, but I was never interested in it. It's not something I don't think I'll ever play. I wasn't a fan of the
Was it Biv?
scary like games. No, it was Brogan.
Oh, okay, yeah. So yeah, so I played the first one. Um, I I don't remember if the first one had the jump scare with the giant tentacle that comes after you. Uh, yeah, but two really scared me. Two was real. I love those games. Three was more action packed, and three was cool because it had co op. Um, but three is definitely like the worst one out of the trilogy. I think two is probably
Mhm.
the best one. But I am very excited to see if they can recapture what that game, the first two at least, gave, and just the horrifying aspect. Because those games were like truly fucking scary. Because like you could kill something and then like you could like be doing something and turn around and it's back because of how it works. And
Yeah.
like if you don't shoot off their arms or legs, like you're fucking shit out of luck. Um, so those games are really good. If you haven't played them, they're on Game Pass. I'm pretty sure. All three of them. Or if you have like Origin on Steam or something like that, they're all on there. Uh,
Oh,
Great games. I can't recommend them enough. Play one and two. I don't even remember when three came out. I think it was like 2011. So it's been 10 years since the last one. So it was time. Um, so that was cool. It was part of EA, their E3 event thing, which happened today. So we'll get into Battlefield. Battlefield released their second like update to their big game that's coming out, and this is the second big mode that they are talking about, and it is Battlefield Portals. So the way this works is they have almost like a bunch of shit from every other game. Bad Company, 1943, Battlefield 3, maps, stuff like that. And basically what it is you can create your own game. In the sense of you can have different factions from different games go up against each other. You can have different different game modes in the sense of like you want to create a zombies mode. Now you can do that because you can spawn everyone in with just a defib and one player with an assault rifle. Um, so this what they're talking about. So this game mode or this portion of 2049 isn't supposed to be balanced or anything. It is just for you to have fun. So you can get online and find and play with other people online in their game modes. So if someone's making, a whole thing in just 1943 and they're just using 1943 guns, well, now you can join that if you want to play that kind of game. I think this reconfirms that 2049 is probably going to be the last Battlefield we get for 5 to 10 years because it seems like they're
2042.
adding. Sorry, I keep saying 2049 because of Blade Runner.
I know.
Um, So Battlefield Portal, if you want to talk about maps, um, at launch it will have Battle of the Bulge from Battlefield 1942, El Alamein from 1942, Erica Harbor from Bad Company 2, Valparaiso from Bad Company 2, Caspian Border from Battlefield 3, Nasher Canals from Battlefield 3, and then all 7 launch maps of 2042.
I was
Um,
gonna say the only real map I remember making out when I saw it was the Caspian Border because it was when they all had the defibs and the knives, and that
yeah,
was a cool scene.
yeah. Uh, get Operation Metro on that as fast as possible. It'll be great. Um, so we'll go over kind of the weapons and stuff. So from Battlefield 1942, oh, and all the maps will be able to support 128 players. Um, so from 1942, we are getting the Sherman tank, Panzer, and Tiger tanks, Spitfires, the Stukas, B-17 stationary guns, and more. Uh, for guns, we get the 1911, the Thompson, the M1 Grand, the MP40, STG-44, the Walther P38, K98, Panzer Shrek bazooka, and more. Bad Company, we're getting the M3A3 Bradley and the M1 Abrams tank and
Oh fuck yeah!
Humvees. And then guns, we're getting the M93R, which is the burst pistol, I believe. The
Yes.
G3, the AKS 74, the 416, the MP412 Rex, the SPAS 12, which is like iconic in that game, the M60, the Type 88, and the XM8, which is I think the XM8 is the MAA1 from Black Ops 2. Pretty sure. Battlefield 3, we're getting FA-18s, the AH-64 Apaches, a bunch of the Battlefield 3 tanks and light vehicles. And then from Battlefield 3, we're getting the P90, the DAD-12, the A91, the AN-94, the M16A3, which is my favorite Battlefield gun of all time, and the ACWR.
Ooh,
Yeah.
really?
Yes. There will be also 30 plus explosives and gadgets from across the 3 games, including 1942's like binoculars, wrenches, mortar strikes, C4, defibs, EOD bots from Battlefield 3. You can create an army of EOD bots and fight an army of Battlefield 2042's Ranger Robo Dogs if you wanted.
Wasn't there a? I don't know if it's the new gadget or not, but the thing that they shot at the plane, to make the RPG track it.
Yeah.
Is that new?
No.
No? Okay, I thought that was from Bad Company.
So some of the game modes they showed off were a 64 versus 64 defib versus knife mode. Um, So they also created a mode, and this is I'm reading the article. So a lot of people got to go in and create their own game mode, and this person's going over also what he created. He created a VIP mode where teams only got points for killing a specific player on the other team, which is really cool. And then in which you start with a new loadout every time you die. So you can even change that. Snipers
That's
versus
sick.
shotguns. A hardcore mode with no HUD, no player IDs, no sci-fi gadgets, and custom weapon tuning. So you can even customize weapons. A mode where there's no guns, only vehicles.
That's
A
cool.
PvE mode in which you and a handful of friends fight an army of bots. And a 1 versus 127 mode.
No fucking way.
Yeah. There's obviously some restrictions. You can't give every single player like like a Hornet or something like that. So you can't just make it like 64 versus 64 jets. It'll crash the
Yeah.
game. It just won't work like that. So it's like Fortnite creative mode, but like with guns and like
And better.
more. Yeah, well, better. Um, there was something. Yeah, so there'll be a server browser for this stuff, and you can publish your own things, which is very cool. Then they kind of talked about let me grab it. Actually, so Jared, what do you think of this?
So I haven't seen everything in depth. I actually just saw a clip of the trailer on Twitter. So I don't know if it was the full one or not. It was only like 40 seconds, and I was told it was like 2 minutes long or something. So I saw a part of it. It looks fucking badass. It is as soon as I saw it, I was just made me even more excited for Battlefield. Um, But something that I think that's interesting about this, the Battlefield portal, is they're probably going to start doing that with other games. Like other games are going to copy
I
them. There's
expect to
going to
see a Call
be
of Duty one eventually.
yeah, a Call of Duty portal within like the next half a decade, and then Halo might do it. I don't know. Halo doesn't need to because the guns don't really change, but I feel like they might. Yeah, I think we're gonna see a lot of a lot of people copying this style. Like, oh, we have an old game here. We'll put the shit in here. So I'm excited for it because I think it's great that Battlefield of all games is gonna be doing it first and is leading like the way with this. It's just it like I said, it makes the game coming out even more exciting. I cannot believe that they were able to release a great trailer and then step it up with, hey, here's more great content with another cool ass trailer. It's blowing my mind right now.
Yep. Trying to grab. Trying to grab this quote.
Well, while he's grabbing that, I just want to let you guys know if you are on PC and you play games on Steam, Days Gone is currently 20% off. So instead of paying $50 for it, you can pay 40. So if anyone's interested in grabbing that, you should. I'm considering grabbing it. I need
Yeah.
to play Days Gone.
Really good game, which we talked about on the podcast.
Yeah, a bunch of times.
So they are going to be giving new maps out to Battlefield Portal and just Battlefield in general. So Operation Metro, Operation Locker, Wake Island, and Siege of Shanghai will also be in there. And so they also talked about how seasons are going to work in Battlefield. So in each season, you're going to get one new specialist, two new maps, two Portal exclusive maps,
Mhm.
a Hazard Zone update, which is the third mode they haven't given details about. It is story driven content though.
Yeah.
With that, you're gonna get 6 to 8 new weapons per game mode. You're gonna get 2 to 3 new vehicles per game mode, and then 100 season tiers in a battle pass system, and it's for free. So all that stuff for free.
Just for paying for the game one time. That's fucking amazing.
Yeah. So finally seems like they're, I mean, not finally, they've been pretty good about it, but like they're doing everything right, man. It is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very excited. And to think this launches in 3 months, it is
Coming up quick.
Yeah, it is really crazy. If this is the year where Battlefield can outsell Call of Duty.
And it fucking better, honestly.
Yeah, like even if like you're sitting here, you're like, oh, I just play Call of Duty. Like I get it. I'm a huge Call of Duty player too. But like, you gotta give Battlefield a chance this year if you never have. There's so much shit that you're gonna be able to do, not just like in the main multiplayer, but like Jared, which we know, because this game mode's basically like the Halo. What is it fucking called? What is the Halo Forge world? Kind of like that, right?
Forge,
I mean, the best part about Halo is Forge, basically. Because you get to create what you want and have the experience that you want. And some of my favorite memories of Halo are in Forge. So
I still have old screenshots on my file share in Halo from when we played Forge, like you, me, and Matt and stuff.
yes,
Like it's crazy.
yeah, it is. It is crazy. But yeah, very exciting news for that. We'll see where that takes us in a few months. Oh, God, this game better be good, man. Because it seems like they're putting all their eggs in the basket for this game. And if this game shits the bed, like
It's gonna suck.
That could be the end of Battlefield, man. That's crazy.
It could, and it could also give.
They have to know like how good the game is because they're not going to do this much and this
and
much
if you
effort
dog shit
for like a dog shit game. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And if it does fail, like it's gonna give like Call of Duty an unnecessary and an unfucking deserved step up. This needs to be great.
Dude, I can already like I was reading over those game modes. Like I was already thinking of like game modes, but you could put give someone a sniper, put them across the map, and like the other team has to get to them. You could do
make it like 50% movement speed, and they've got like shotguns.
Could you imagine you got a bunch of your friends on there and like you're in a fucking World War II fighter and there's robot dogs running around and fucking Cody sitting there in an M1 Abrams and I'm using like a Car 98K it's just crazy. It's just crazy. Now, we've seen this before because Call of Duty has this already in Call of Duty Online, which is the China version of Call of Duty, where they literally just took all the Call of Duties, put them together, and released that game, but it's only in China.
Yeah.
I expect if this game mode takes off, well, I expect no matter what, they'll still do it because it's such a brilliant idea. I feel like now Call of Duty is going to put that into work. Say, hey, we're going to do this, but it just won't hit the same as Battlefield because Battlefield it's so much of a bigger scale. You can do way more with that.
Well, you know what I was just thinking as well, talking about like stuff we could be doing in these big game modes. We kind of need. I know it wouldn't be used a lot, but we need to have private matches. Like with the load into a server without paying for it or without searching for an empty server, get into a server that we can lock and make private and do like just the boys, like 4 or 5 of
Yeah,
us,
you can do that.
and just fuck around.
Yeah.
Well, but it needs to be a thing because I don't know
Yeah,
if
it
they've had
is.
that in past Battlefields.
Well, so you used to have to pay for it, but
Yeah, that's what I'm
I'm
saying.
pretty
Hopefully,
sure
you
the
don't need to
servers
pay
will
for
be
it in this
free.
one. Well, I hope so because that'd be fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, a lot of good Battlefield news. And then
Yeah,
finally, it's just a confirmation of what we talked about last week. Netflix is doing the game subscription thing later this year, and
weird.
yeah, and it will not cost any extra for
Really?
for Netflix. They're not going to upcharge this year.
So how's that gonna work? Like, is it gonna be like if I've got Netflix on my Xbox, I can play Xbox like games like that, or
They didn't really describe it. I bet I wonder if it's gonna be a streaming thing. So like you'll stream the
like
game.
Stadia?
Yeah.
Ugh.
But it may also just be like, hey, you have the app downloaded on your TV, like you can download this game. Like Game Pass. Think of Game Pass, but it's just Netflix. It's a weird concept. I don't know what games they're gonna put on there because like I know Netflix has a lot of subscribers, but like I feel like you'd want to put like if I'm a game developer, I'd rather put my game on Game Pass because it not only incorporates Xbox people but PC people, and there's such a bigger gamer market there. A lot of people who have Netflix don't care about video games, so it's a weird one. I wonder what games they're gonna put on there. I mean, I expect like some big ones, like if it's not streaming, like The Witcher and stuff like that will definitely be on there for sure. That has to be one of the first games. The Witcher 3 will be on there. Because of the TV show and everything.
You know, it's a crazy thought.
What?
Like, I know they're just doing this like game service stuff right now, but like, what if Netflix, like in a year, is just like, you know what? Fuck it. Netflix console, fucking Netbox or fucking FlickStation coming soon. And it's like the new thing that could rival Xbox and PlayStation. Just think about something they do. Like, that'd be fucking crazy.
Yeah, you know, I think it's so hard for a new console to take off. Like,
oh, for sure.
You know, if you go back and you look at like when Microsoft was launching the Xbox, like that was such a hard thing for them to do, nearly impossible because you had juggernauts in Sony and Nintendo. You know, like it was at the end towards PlayStation 1, but PlayStation 1 sold really well. And then you had Nintendo, who is, you know, the most popular console brand of all time. And so they had to really come in and distinguish themselves. And, you know, they hit out of the park. They got a bunch of exclusives that worked with all the Star Wars games. They got Halo, and they really focused on multiplayer. A lot of people don't realize, like, the PS2 had multiplayer, but it wasn't really well supported. Xbox was the first game console that had, like, really good multiplayer that you could play on. That's what I played Halo 2 on. And that's how they distinguished themselves. They had a great multiplayer service that no one else had, and they had great multiplayer games. The issue nowadays is everyone has great multiplayer games. It's now what does your console have exclusive wise, and what is it going to bring to the table power wise? Stadia never worked because why would I stream a game when I can just go buy it on a console I already own, right? Like I'm not going to sit here and spend $60 on The Witcher on Stadia and have it at lower frames, and then, you know, may have streaming issues due to my internet or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, or because, like, you know, I'm very blessed. I have a gig internet, right? A lot of people don't have a gig internet where they live. So, you know, we're talking about people being under 100 megabytes. I feel like most people are under 100 megabytes, 100 or below. So that's a lot to ask for streaming. And So that's why Stadia failed, man. I think they should have just made a console. It would have worked out better for them.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
they could have done some cool exclusives, maybe bought a studio that people love and said, hey, their stuff's only going to be on this. But they didn't. They went the weird streaming way, and now Stadia is dead, literally. And everyone's just buying a PlayStation and an Xbox.
Yep.
And it's hard. Like, if you look at Nintendo now, right? Like, yeah, the Switch is popular, but people forget Nintendo had the Wii U, which was not popular at all because it came out and everyone was going, well, why would I buy this when I can just buy a PlayStation or an Xbox One, which is way more powerful and it had good games? Because they launched with like Mario Kart 8. Like, oh yeah, Mario Kart's great, but I'm not going to buy a Wii U for Mario Kart. It's the same thing with Switch. So Switch is having that right now. Because Switch doesn't have exclusive games coming out right now besides Mario Golf. Like, yeah, they got Pokemon coming out, the Shining Pearl and Brilliant Diamond later this year. But like, man, it's a remake of a game. Like, I understand, and they're great Pokemon games. Don't get me wrong, but like, it's still not a huge exclusive. And then you have to wait till early next year for Pokemon Arceus. That's the name of it, right? Or is it Acreus?
Arceus.
Yeah. So Switch is going.
It might be like
time.
Zeus, but it's hard to pronounce.
Yeah. The Switch doesn't really have much going on for it, unlike PlayStation and Xbox.
Yeah. The Titans, unfortunately.
Yeah. So it's hard. It's hard to get in this market. So with Netflix, like, I don't really know what they would have to put on their console for them to be able to get into the market. I think it's so hard to get into this market now. They would have to do something crazy like emulation. Like, and they couldn't because Nintendo wouldn't give rights. But if they came out and they're like, hey, like, you can now like emulate all these games from Nintendo's past, like, that'd be cool. But they can't because Nintendo won't give it. So they have nothing. What studio are you going to go buy? All the studios that are majorly important are already bought and will never be sold. You can't go buy Rockstar. It's already bought by 2K or Take-Two. You can't buy Bethesda. Microsoft already did it. You can't buy Minecraft. Microsoft already owns it. A lot of these smaller companies Microsoft owns. And then you go to PlayStation side. Oh, well, Insomniac, they're a great developer. Well, PlayStation owns them now. Like, there's so... What about Kojima? That dude already said he's never going to sell his company. So
no.
You can't do anything. You can't buy a major company right now.
Nope. Everything's been bought up.
Yeah. So I'll go out and you can't say never because obviously eventually will happen, but it will take something crazy like for a console to work. The only thing I could see working in the near future is the Steam Deck. And that's only because it's Steam and it has all those Steam games and a bunch of console players are going to buy it. Or PC players are going to buy it. So that's the only thing. But even then, it's still going to get outsold by the Switch easily. Like, it's just, I don't know.
I get it.
Gaming's locked off. Like, it is very, like, these three heavyweights on console, those are what you deal with. Yeah, it's nuts. Yeah, that's all I really...
Hopefully one of these days we might get something new, maybe a few years down the road. But right now, you're right. It's nothing that's going to change.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. That's all I really got. I mean, I'm just kind of... It's Kanye's album release day. So that will come out sometime today. Yeah.
Allegedly.
Nothing crazy. I'm getting graphics cards here soon.
Really?
I've been able to... So I've been testing out. I can get them. I've gotten them in my cart ready to hit checkout. I just haven't done it.
I got you.
So I can get like 3080s pretty easily.
That'd be really nice.
Yep.
You can actually put them in your computer, or you just get them to resell them.
So I'm gonna buy one for myself. It's hard. So I'm at the point. I don't know if I'm just gonna restart my PC build. I think my plan is I'm going to take my PC that I have now and make it my second PC and have it as a recording slash
streaming.
Yeah, streaming thing. Because there's a lot of stuff I want to do with the Cole Ones channel that like I can't really do with one PC, just because of how hard it is. Yeah. So I'm just gonna, I think, just build a god tier PC and spend, because like when I bought my PC build, or when I did it, like I should have went more expensive in CPU cooling. And I mean, my PC was $2,000. It's no slouch, but like I should have spent an extra $100 on a CPU cooler, and I should have
Oh yeah.
spent like an extra whatever on more RAM. So this my goal, which by the end of the year I'll have this PC that I'm thinking about. From what I've priced out, the next PC I'm buying is like $3,500. Um, and that's with a 3080. I don't care about a 3090. That thing. I don't know. I don't need it. But I'll have 32 gigs of RAM, all the SSD storage space I need. Like it'll be crazy. So
Yeah.
we will see.
Hey, you know what they say? Hindsight is 2020, and we look back now and know that we should have done a lot more when we built our PCs. I mean, if I could go back and just fucking put all the most expensive shit in there and just bite the bullet and pay the 3 grand instead of my just over two, I should have. I should have done it, and I regret not doing it because I would
Yeah,
love to have had the beefier PC. But at the same time, now that we've got the 30 series out for the GPU, it's almost like, all right, maybe it's a good thing because now I can just keep this as my second monitor or my second
PC.
like stream PC and then upgrade to something more. But
Yeah,
it's like I said, hindsight 2020. Like we wish we would have done it differently.
I have this problem with like when it comes to certain things where I'm always chasing the next thing. And so, when I bought a PC, the reason why was, okay, well now I don't have to upgrade for 10 years, right? Like
Yeah,
this thing will be able to run games at 4K 60, even though I don't even play most games well, I play at 1440, so it's not really, it's 2K basically. But
right.
so, it'll play these games just fine. But when the 30 series came out and I was like seeing how much of a difference it makes, I was like, well, shit, now I got to get one. It's how I've been with consoles. Like when the 360 first came out, I traded in all my GameCube stuff for the 360. And then it was the same thing. When the Xbox One came out, I traded in everything I had just to get that. I
Correct.
needed the next thing. And then now
And
it's
then it
like,
was the Xbox Series X, the Xbox Series X. Like we
yeah.
went and got those as they came out. Like I
Yeah,
get it.
and I get like infatuated with stuff. So like with the PS5, like I didn't need it because there's no games I've been playing on it that like I could have went without playing. But the fact that it was out there and like I still wanted a PlayStation just for the future, like it bothered me not having one. So I went out and got one. And it's the same thing with like my laptop here that I got. Like it's all, I just want the best stuff. And I sit here and I like will watch review videos over and over and over again and different videos about something until I have it. It's a serious problem. I mean, I did it with
Yeah.
Yeezys. I was constantly watching videos about Yeezys. And then I finally got them. I sold them, made a profit. And then like, I haven't thought about them again. And the PS5, like I bought it. I've gotten several of them, and now it just kind of sits there. It's a great console. It's just I have nothing to play on it yet. I'm still waiting for like Ghost of Tsushima and Death Stranding. There's been a lot of stuff like that I've bought, and because I'm always like chasing for something new. It's a bad habit. So I don't like when I go into stores. I go in for like a purpose. I don't just walk into a Cabela's. I can't do that. Like I'll be fucked. Like when I walk into like a Cabela's, it's I'm looking for this. If they don't have it, I'm gone.
Yep.
Um,
See, I love going in just like window shop, just look at shit.
yeah, so I can look
Because
at stuff.
sometimes I walk out with stuff, but like
Yeah,
it's nothing major. Like I'll walk out with a new pack of Cards Against Humanity, like stuff I didn't have before, or I'll walk
yeah,
out with like a Pokemon card. Like it's stuff like that. But like I get what you're saying. Like when you're into the more expensive shit, like I've been in the place where I go in, I'm looking at like when I was looking at speakers, like I wanted a Bluetooth speaker. I kept looking, I'm like, oh, I could get this one's like only $500. It wouldn't be bad. But it's like I don't need it. Like I've got a Bluetooth speaker. It's I want something better. I want to upgrade. And
yeah,
like not to your level, but like I get it. Like I've been there.
yeah. I mean, I literally banned myself from going to Cabela's for like a whole year because I went in there and almost spent $250 on a fucking knife. And so the way I work when I'm in a store and I'm making a big purchase is I have to like sit there and think about it for a little bit, and it's a constant battle in my head. Like, do I do it? Do I not? Here's the reasons why. I ended up passing on it, thank God. And then as soon as I walked out of the store, it's like, why was I even thinking about doing that? And it's just because I wanted to buy something. So whenever I go
Yeah.
into the store, it's always like, what am I here for? Now, if it's like Walmart, I can window shop there. Like, I'm cool with just walking in. But like, if it's a store that like has a lot of things I want, like a Best Buy or something like that, I can't. I have to just go in and find something and then get out. I'll walk
That's
out
why
with,
the mall near me is so dangerous because there's
yeah,
so much shit in there I could just get. It's
yeah. I'll
like,
fucking
oh, I
walk
gotta
out
be
with a TV or
careful.
something, man.
Yeah.
It's
I did that.
crazy.
Well, fuck, I did that when we were out. When we went to go see Black Widow last week, we were walking around the mall before, and thank God, like if it wasn't for the movie and the time I needed to be there, like we would have spent much longer. But we were in the bookstore, and I bought I almost bought more, but I got some D&D stuff because they carry it in there, and I bought more than I needed, and I know that I did, but, like, I was happy. I was like, "Oh, yeah, like, I wanna get this. I've been meaning to for a long time." It's like, "Oh, I'll get this too. Oh, I'll get this too." And it's like, "Oh, shit, the movie starts soon, like, we gotta go." So I, like, stopped, but, like, it's
Yeah.
such a problem. Like, you it's so weird because it's not necessary. Like, I could save so much money if I didn't do it, but it's so weird to, like, want to spend. I don't even know.
Yeah, I've had to stop myself like with the 4K movies, because I was buying like 4 or 5 a week, which you guys saw on the podcast, and so now it's like I've limited myself to like, okay, you can only buy 1 or 2 4Ks a week, and
Yeah,
I've just been pre-ordering ones, so I haven't even gotten any. But like,
yeah.
what did I just pre-order? I pre-ordered something last week. I was like, okay, there's my one for the week. Because there will be sometimes like I'll want to sit there and splurge and spend like $200 on something, and I just can't do that to myself. I have the
Yeah.
money. It's just I just don't need to be spending that much money consistently. You know, it's bad.
Mm. Oh, excuse me. No, I get it.
I don't even know what my last impulse buy was. It's been a while.
I can
To
tell you
be fair,
mine.
what was yours?
Well, if we're not counting the stuff that I was talking about before the movie, if we ignore that, it's my
Shotgun.
shotgun.
Yeah.
Yep. But see, I have a hard time saying it's an impulse buy though because I've been wanting it. I wanted to get it a year ago and I didn't. And it's just the fact that I saw it there for only about $60 more than I saw it a year ago. That's why I bought it. Kind of an impulse because I wasn't planning on it, but I've been wanting to. It's just like, oh, I'm doing it today, not a different time like I thought would happen. Kind of that's my biggest impulse buy recently.
I don't really think I bought anything
You,
impulsively. Like I've bought stuff that I didn't need, but like I didn't just like buy it just to buy it.
yeah.
Um, like the TV, like that's literally just a PlayStation machine. Like, oh, I've been watching a lot of Friends on it, so it's been making its money back. But I literally bought and spent whatever amount of money on Best Buy just so I could have a TV in my room to play a PlayStation on. Like,
Yep.
I'm gonna be buying a sound bar for it too. I have a sound bar already. I have a really nice one out in the living room with the sub and everything, but it's not good enough. I need something in here. And it's a bad habit. Bad habit.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Alrighty, that's all I got this week. So make sure to like, comment, subscribe. If you're on iHeartRadio, follow us. Please subscribe on YouTube. Please share the video, and we will see you guys next week. Thanks for listening.
See you later, guys.